All right, joining me now is Laura Harth. She is a campaign director at a human rights NGO called Safeguard Defenders. She joins me now from Rome. Laura, good to have you on the show. I was reading up on the story, and one of the interesting lines I came across was that you had reporters on the scene basically saying that diplomats and fellow journalists were met by a large resistance by police presence. I mean, that there were repeated attempts by the diplomats to enter the building before the trial got underway. That was rebuffed. I mean, isn't this a clear violation?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me and putting attention to this issue. This is a very clear violation of the consular agreement between the government of Canada and the government of the People's Republic of China. It is a continuation of the violations we've already seen in the past years, obviously. We're now over 830 days since the two Michael Spavor and Kovrig were detained. We've only now seen the beginnings of the trial. I think I've just seen the news that also the trial of Michael Kovrig has ended, but the verdict will be issued at a later stage. We know that because of this consular agreement, they should have had access, the consular representatives should have had access to them at least once a month over these past 2 years. That means at least 24 times. That has not been the case. There have been 2 meetings, I believe, plus 2 more online. So that was a first violation. Secondly, this goes counter to any agreement because even under reasons of national security, under the consular agreement, China does not have the right to deny access to the trial for those consular representatives. So this, of course, poses very, very important questions, I think, for the entire international community, especially, and I'm thinking also about Turkey, but a number of other countries, as the issue and the question of extradition treaties is coming up for ratification. China is clearly not respecting its obligations, its agreements, and I think that is something we need to take into account.
Okay, you talked about the access to trial. I want to talk about what the possible verdict to be. I understand that you're not a lawyer, but I mean, when you look at sort of the statistics, Chinese courts have a nearly 100% conviction rate. I think it's over 99%. Do you feel that these men will have any chance at a fair trial, and what do you think their chances are for a release?
Well, I think the numbers again speak very clearly exactly as to the violations of the agreements. The numbers in China, we've just released a comprehensive report based on the official statistics that are released every year to the Chinese National People's Congress. These statistics only regard, obviously, let's say, the official judicial system. There's other numbers that remain secret, of which we have no statistics and that are very important. What we've seen is that the level of prosecutions and judgment has just gone up in a staggering rate over the past years, while in the year 2000 we had about 650,000 judgments. By 2019 and this year, we're at almost 1.7 million judgments a year. And of those 1.7 million judgments, only 637 in 2019 were declared not guilty at the end. That is a very clear, that's a rate of over 99.6% chance of being found guilty. So it's very clear that there's no secret. There's clearly no respect for fair trial standards. A clearer indicator than this cannot exist. So what their chances are, I think obviously everybody knows that this is a clear case of what's called hostage diplomacy. There's also been obviously the initiative launched on February 15th by Canada, and it was signed by 58 other countries to stop countries, an appeal to stop countries from detaining foreign citizens to gain diplomatic leverage. Today also we have seen that 28 diplomats from 26 countries were present trying to gain entry to Kovrig's trial, a clear statement, sign of support to Canada and to these two very unfortunate Canadian citizens. It's very clear that there can be no fair trial for them, and obviously everybody expects, and the fact that we see that no verdict has been handed out, neither for Spavor nor for Kovrig today, and that it's been announced that that will come at a later date, it's very clear that they are waiting, I think, for what will happen to Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou appeal in Canada, which I think the case is to be wrapped up in May.
All right, Safeguard Defenders, Laura Harth. I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I do appreciate your analysis.